The meeting of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission will now come to order. Ms. Jenny Sherman, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Colley, would you please give us roll call?
Yes, sir. Seat A, Chucky Sherman.
Here.
Seat B, Tom Pete.
Here.
Seat C, Jimmy Lafont.
Here.
Seat D, Rodney Gisclair.
Here.
Seat A, Regula Day.
Here.
Seat F, Ted Sobwalk.
Here.
Seat G, John Mellison.
Here.
Seat H, Mike Colley here. Seat I, Chris Colley.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Colley. Next, we have approved minutes for September 16, 2024 meeting. Moved by Mr. John Mellison, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have Executive Director's Report. Mr. Chasson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First is our Northern Expansion projects. Northern Expansion Slip D Bulkhead, GIS Engineering.
Okay, this project, it was awarded to Dynamic Group for $16.5 million. You are starting to see work on the site. They're moving dirt around for the access road, and the test pile should be coming in this week or next.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Moving on to airport projects, aircraft operations.
Operations for last month, 1,680. We had 11,022 passengers and 14,741 vehicles visit the airport.
All right. Airport Connector Road and Bridge. PCO and Associates.
So Sea Level's been working lately on asphalt construction, and they're also working on assembling and painting the lift span. Asphalt, they've actually moved out right now to go do another job for about a week, but they'll be back, and then probably later this month, early into November, they'll complete all the asphalt. They did install the street lights along the corridor, which really looks like looks good. They've pushed back the delivery of the machinery now to sometime in December, and therefore they'll be installing the lift span sometime in January. And it's going to push the whole schedule back to June now. So we're having discussions with them about trying to push the schedule forward and do it as quickly as possible. So we'll be doing that in the next couple of months.
Any questions? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
FBO Terminal, GIS Engineering.
Okay, Byron Talbot Construction has this project. This one too, they started moving dirt around. They put some stone in for the parking lot. So that project is starting to move. It's still going to be a while before you actually see piles driven and concrete poured, but it'll be coming in the next month or so.
All right. Any questions? All right, the fuel system rehabilitation.
Fuel system rehab, we've been kind of putting that off to the side for a few months now, but the fuel tanks are scheduled to be delivered the beginning of November. So next month, should see work going on there as well.
All right. Any questions? John?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. And I wanted to add to this, Davey just gave me this sheet. The LAMA conference, Louisiana Airport Managers Association conference, was the last few days in Houma, and they gave like the latest data, economic data on our ports and airports in Louisiana. There are 61 general aviation airports, which that's our airport is qualified as general aviation. 7 commercial service airports with annually 15.9 million travelers and 111,000 tons of cargo. In terms of economic impact of all of our airports in the state of Louisiana, which we contribute heavily to, is $9.3 billion in economic output, 84,000 jobs, $2.6 billion in personal income. And in terms of funding for airports, last year was $65 million in federal funding and $28.2 million in state funding. So our airports in the state, which again, we have a successful one and are a big part of that, have a great economic impact on our state, which is why we continue to invest there. So just wanted to give you all those updates there. All right, other projects. We're going to Hurricane Ida repair projects, breakwater repairs. Angela Design.
All right, this project was awarded to Rigid Constructors for $7.7 million. They're currently getting materials together and scheduled to begin work in a couple of weeks.
Okay, any questions? All right, the Fouchon Beach.
Right, on this project, bids were received about a month ago. We only got one bid. It was extremely high compared to budget. So we're currently looking at alternate borrow sources to get this project back out to bid. Potentially maybe do a little bit smaller project, but definitely focusing on that section on the east side that you see that's eroded pretty far back compared to where the geotubes were.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to work on this project because it's imperative we do and do something, because we do have funding from other sources coming from the state, from the parish, from what we understand from Shell as well, to help us, piece this beach back together. All right, any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Flotation Canal and Front Commercial Marina Dredge, PCO and Associates.
Coastal dredging is working now in the marina, in the front marina itself. They probably got another couple of weeks of work in the marina itself. They're pumping right now along into the slip along Slip D. And then after they finish that, they got some cleanup to do along Flotation Canal, but then they'll be finished. So we're expecting them to be finished sometime end of November.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, airport hangar replacement, GIS Engineering.
This project is also underway. Freetown Builders is the contractor. They are getting their act together on how to put the door back in. So once that plan is finalized, then you'll see lots of work going on.
All right. Any questions for John?
Thank you.
All right.
There you go.
Concludes my report, Mr. President. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chasson. Next, we're going to public comment. We have a couple of people that are running for office, Mr. Zach Gisclair and Mr. Chad Colley. Which one? Mr. Zach, you want to come up and speak first?
Good morning.
Morning.
Again, my name's Zachary Gisclair, and yes, I am running for the Port Commission seat F. And thank you all for giving us the opportunity to have a quick talk. Just a little bit about me, my background. Obviously, I'm a resident here of the 10th Ward, lifelong graduate of South Lafourche, 1989 class. Also a graduate of Nicholls State University, class of 1993. I've been married here with my wife Tammy for 26 years. We have 3 children, 5 grandchildren. That's kind of a little bit of my personal background. Reason why I'm running, obviously, y'all know personally, I have a big spot in the port, having some family history. A grandfather, an uncle, and a father that were all commissioners at some time. Professionally, have been associated with the port for many years. With my professional career, with being a tenant for 2 companies that I work for, some major tenants that you guys have. So I'm very familiar with the workings of the port, very familiar with the operations with Davey and those guys. We worked with them a lot. So it'd be a very easy, very nice, seamless transfer if I were to be elected. The bigger reason why I decided to run was we all saw what Hurricane Ida did to our parish and the 10th Ward. And the 10th Ward doesn't have very much, they don't have very many bright spots for economic development. And the port and the airport is one of them. So if elected, I would like, that's where my focus is gonna be, is keeping the port as viable, as profitable, and making sure the future has the port there, whether it be to work in it or to get revenue from the port. That's kind of going to be where my focus is going to be on, whether it be at the airport. I know that with the LNG at the port in Fouchon, that's a big thing that I think we need to really develop at the airport. I know we talked about some discussions at one of the meetings. I talked about the economic development permits, so that could be another element with the new road and the new bridge having easy access to the port, possibly having some offices there where companies that support the port can have an office there inside the protection levee. And I think that'd be very beneficial to the port. So those are some of the things that I know I would look forward to working towards. Early voting, October 18th to the 29th. Y'all don't forget, and I hope the public doesn't forget. Early voting will be at the Veterans Memorial on Highway 3235 on the 4-lane in Galliano. Please get out to vote. And I'll just consider voting for me, Zachary Gisclair, number 37. I appreciate the time and to speak to y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
Zach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.
All right, Mr. Khalid, will you speak, please?
Morning. Again, thanks for the opportunity to, let me get up here and announce my candidacy for Greater Food Sport Commission, Seat F. A little bit about me, I was born and raised in the 10th Ward. I worked 34 years in and around Port Fourchon. My parents are Carol and Earlene Khalid, from Golden Meadow. Married to Amy Griffin Khalid, 2 beautiful daughters, Elaine and Braylon Khalid. I currently serve on the Special Education District Number 1 Board as Vice President. And I humbly ask you your consideration and support November 5th. My number's 36.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Khalid. All right, any other public comment? All right, we're moving on. All right, we're going into Executive Committee. Members are Chucky Sherman, Chairman, Rodney J. Gisclair Sr., Jim LaFawn, Ms. Tom Peete. First, we have consider adopting a resolution in memory of Mr. Larry Griffin.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the resolution. Whereas the members of the Board of Commissioners of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission have learned with deep regret and sorrow of the death of Mr. Larry Griffin on July 29th, 2024. And whereas Larry Griffin served his community through his contributions to the business community, particularly through the boat and restaurant industries. And whereas Larry Griffin served the Port Commission as a member for 31 years and 8 months, beginning November 1992, and has served as President, Vice President, and Treasurer. Whereas it is the desire of the members of the Board of Commissioners of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission to express to Larry's wife, Ms. Myrna, family, and friends their deep and sincere sympathies during this time of grief and sorrow. And therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission that the members thereof do express to Mrs. Myrna, family, and friends their sincere and heartfelt regret and condolences at the death of Larry. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to Mrs. Myrna and family as a small symbol of love and respect from the members of the Board of Commissioners of the Greater Lafourche Port Commission. And we wanted to approve this resolution, recognizing and honoring Mr. Larry Griffin. Our plan is to present to them an official, a plaque with this resolution and pictures, of good times with Mr. Larry throughout the years at our meeting, hopefully in November. Bryce did speak to Dwayne, his son, and told him of our plan, and he was very appreciative. So hopefully we can organize and get his family here, Mr. Larry's family here in November for our board meeting.
Okay. All right, need a motion. I move by Mr. Thomas Peete, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have considering approving the Crowley Wind Service right of refusal amendment.
All right, Crowley Wind Services had a right of first refusal on a section along Slip C. We had several requests, and the board has leased properties that were included in their right of first refusal. They have agreed to move areas so that we can do those leases. Their right of first refusal would then extend to the corner of Slip C and Flotation Canal for a total of 2,500 linear feet of waterfront. That right of first refusal ends January 31st of 2024.
All right, need a motion. So moved by Mr. Ted Sawa, second by Mr. Jim LaFawn. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the lease from GDE Tiger Drilling for site GLF 344.
All right, GDE Tiger Drilling is requesting site 344 for a lease. They are in a short-term lease because they purchased a considerable amount of equipment from the old Francis Drilling Fluid sites. They're storing those for the next month. If you approve this lease, Bryce and I had a meeting with the owner of GDE and Mr. Greg Elliott, and he is planning to invest a considerable amount of money getting the bulkhead repairs done, getting some new facilities out there, and doing a number of things to get that up and running. So we recommend approving this lease.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Thomas Pete, second by Mr. Chris Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Next, we have consider approving the lease request from NSSI Environmental for site GLF 230.
All right, NSSI Environmental would like to lease that old New Park facility, GLF 230. It's a 2.6 acre site. Recommendation to approve.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Reggie Pete, regular day.
You do that on purpose.
That was perfect. Knew it was coming.
I did that one on purpose. I always say that. Had to break the tension. All right, I get a second by Mr. John Mellison. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Mr.
Motion
Pete,
passed.
if I stay here long enough, I think I'll become a Petrie too.
All right, next. Consider approving the request from Morton Holdings for the Sixth Amendment.
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay, consider approving the request from Bell Pass Marina for site GLF 231.
All right, down to Bayou Charters, Bell Pass Marina is looking for this lease to do a parking area for trailers and things like that, as to advance their capability at their current lease. Recommendation to approve.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Thomas Pete, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, next we have consider approving the request from Morton Holdings for Sixth Amendment lease to Baker Hughes Oilfield LLC site GLF 307-13.
All right, this site, Martin Holdings has been subleasing this site to Baker Hughes for many years now. Recommendation is to approve this Sixth Amendment to the sublease.
All right, need a motion. Moved by Mr. Rodney Gisclair, second by Jim LaFont. Any discussion? Any public comment?
I will abstain.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed with one abstain from Mr. Reggie Ledet. Next, we have, let's see, that was number 6.
Number 7.
Okay, number 7. Consider approving the request from Galeana Marine Service to sublease site GLF 350-1.
All right, Galeana Marine Services would like to sublease portions of site 350-1 for a laydown yard for 30,000 square feet, office space, and a warehouse space of 2,000 square feet. Recommendation to approve.
Need a motion. Moved by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mr. Ted Sawa. Any discussion? Any public comment?
I will abstain, Mr. President.
All right, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed, one abstained by Mr. Reggie Ledet. Next, we have consider approving bids for surplus sale.
All right, we had 15 items that came up for surplus sale on September 24th at 10 a.m. All but one item was bid on. A recommendation to approve all the bids for a total of $59,916.26.
All right, I need a motion. Moved by Mr. Reggie Ledet, second by John Melliso. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Okay, next we're going into Construction and Development Committee. Let's see, we got members are Chris Colley, Chairman, Mike Colley, Jim LaFont, Chucky Sherman. Mr. Colley, you're up.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President. We'll start off with consider adopting the resolution for the Airport Capital Improvements Program 2025 to 2029.
All right, every year we approve a new 5-year capital improvement program for airport projects. This is our newest one. Recommendation to approve.
Move.
I got a motion by Mr. Chris Colley, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, this concludes the Construction Development Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Colley. Next, we're going into Finance Committee. Members are John Mellison, Jr., Chairman, Chris Colley, Reggie Ledet, and Chucky Sherman. Mr. Melisson, you're up.
All right, good morning and thank you, Mr. President. First, we have consider approving payments of the September 2024 invoices and recognizing those over $25,000. We'll begin with item 1, Grand Isle Shipyard, $232,139.60. That's for dredging of the Bollinger Canal and contract labor at the airport. Item 2, Jerry Lane Chevrolet, $207,300.88. That's for the acquisition of 2024 Chevrolet 1500 Silverados. Item 3, Sea Level Construction, $199,175.45. That's for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project. Item 4, Coastal Dredging Company Incorporated, $176,522.40. And that's for the dredging of the Flotation Canal and the Front Commercial Marina. Item 5, USI Southwest, $126,764.63, and that's for insurance renewals. Item 6, Angelette Design LLC, $115,195.87. That's for the Flotation Canal bank line protection, along with the Bayou-Lafourche and Flotation Canal bulkhead. Item 7, Lafourche Parish Fire District Number 3, $102,897.60. That's for an interagency agreement. Item 8, Southland Dodge, $50,560.08, and that's for one 2024 Ram 2500 crew truck and repairs to vehicles. Item 9, Dynamic Group LLC, $44,771.71. That's for a slip D bulkhead. Item 10, Transform YX, $43,257.78. That's for Cisco renewals. Item 11, NOAA, $26,600 even, and that's for the NOAA Ports Program to measure tide and current. Item 12, Piciola and Associates, $25,588.37. That's for the Airport Connector Road and Bridge Project, the dredging of Flotation Canal and Front Commercial Marina, and the Mitigation Bank permit. Item 13, GIS Engineering, $25,255 and a nickel. That's for Bell Pass dredging, the airport terminal building, slip D bulkhead, Port Fourchon Marsh creation, and general consulting and engineering. These expenditures with the others brings us to a grand total of $2,583,395.80. And Mr. President, if I didn't make any mistakes, Mr. Colley, I'd like to make a motion we accept these.
Very good, sir. Second.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. John Melisson, second by Mike Colley. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Next, we have consider approving the September 2024 unaudited financial statements as discussed on Monday night's committee meeting. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion we accept these.
All right, I got a motion by Mr. John Melisson, second by Mr. Reggie Ledet. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Next, we have consider approving the insurance captive agreement. Mr. Director, you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, real briefly for the general public what the captive is, right? So we have property insurance that we need to carry for all of our buildings that we own. And that property insurance is obviously very, very expensive, especially where we are and everything in the port. I think we're paying upwards of $450,000 a year in premium for property insurance. In many discussions, and we had a feasibility report done and all those things in investigating, basically having our own insurance where we put up the funds and then pay the premiums to ourselves. We thought that was a better avenue for the port for the future. So our recommendation is to approve this captive for the Greater Lafourche Port Commission. It would be called the GLPC captive. It would be a sale captive. We would have a board made up of myself, Bryce Otam, Miranda Parker, Mr. Sheremy, and Mr. Melisson. And we would have that captive domiciled in North Carolina, which is what the recommendation was from the feasibility report that was done.
All right.
Thank you. Any questions for the director? Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion, we accept this.
All right, got a motion by Mr. John Mellison, second by Mr. Rodney Gisclair. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
And last, we have out-of-state travel and training request. We have Director Chasson attending Washington meetings in Washington DC, December 2nd through the 5th. I'd like to make a motion, we accept these.
All right, got a motion by Mr. Mellison, second by Mr. Ted Salwa. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Mr. President, this concludes the Finance Committee report.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Mellison. All right. Any other business?
Mr. Chairman, we do have Mr. Jean-Paul Cousson who's here. He's running for Public Service Commission. I think he would like to make some
All
comments.
right. Come on
Thank
up,
you for
Mr.
being
Chair.
here.
Thank you.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Jean-Paul Cousson. It's a real pleasure to be before you. The key to the modern American economy is right here in this room. Cheap and affordable and abundant domestic energy delivered by your port through our brothers and sisters in the energy industry. How does that relate to the PSC? Because the number one feedstock for the electric grid right now is our natural gas supply. That's going to be for the foreseeable future. We have a lot of other opportunities in the state of Louisiana from the standpoint of possibility of manufacturing with renewables. We are benefiting from that over in Acadiana with $1 billion solar facility. I know Rep. Ogeron is working hard on some of the wind opportunities that we have down here. But at the end of the day, our oil and gas industry is going to be delivering that power supply for us. I'm running for PSC, the election same day as the presidential election, so it's right around the corner. Love the opportunity to meet each one of you individually, and I'm looking forward to visiting.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming, sir. Appreciate it.
And I think too, it'd be worth noting, we have a number of guests in our audience today as well, from different offices, Lafourche Parish Council, Daniel Lorraine, Lynn Kiger from Lafourche Chamber, Doug Sheremy from the Governor's Office, people from the Coast Guard, thank you for being here, guys, and from Cantium, thank you all for being here for our meeting today.
All right.
And we have a tenant as well, Huggan Hall, thank you for being here.
All right. Any other business?
I'd just like to, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What you got, Zach?
No, I just wanted to remind everybody that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I lost a mother-in-law that had it, so I just wanted to remind everybody, keep everybody in their prayers that lost anyone through breast cancer or that is fighting it currently. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. All right. What you got, Mr. Brooks?
I just wanted to mention, I did run into Richard Osborne at the LAMA conference, one of our past airport managers, and he actually is going to be down here at 1 o'clock to inspect our airport. So the engineering firm he works for out of North Carolina is doing inspections for DOTD at our airport this afternoon. At 1, he wanted to say hello to you gentlemen. He's inspecting the Houma airport before, so he wasn't able to make the meeting today, but he did want to say hello.
And we had it all. It's been a while since we saw Ozzy. All right. Any other business? Public comment. What?
Move that we adjourn, Mr. President.
All right. I got a motion by Mr. Jimmy LaFont, second by Mr. Thomas Peake. Any discussion? Any public comment? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passed. Thanks, everybody, for coming. That's where it is, Breast Cancer Month. It hit my family hard, and I know it hits everybody else's family hard. So just keep everyone in your prayers who had them. And nowadays, with the new technology, it's coming out younger and younger girls that are getting it. They're catching it. So, and they have a lot of, the survival rate is a lot higher. So, on that. So keep everyone in your prayers for the cancer survivors. All right. Meeting's adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.